Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be old souls, carrying wisdom and depth far beyond their years, while others move through life as if seeing the world for the very first time? Is it possible that each of us made a choice, maybe even a final soul-deep decision, before stepping into this life? And if so, what exactly happens in those mysterious moments between death and birth? Imagine for a moment drifting beyond the limits of time. You feel the world you once knew slipping away. There's no fear, just a quiet cosmic pause. In that space, some souls are called to return to Earth, drawn back into the spiral of experience and growth. But others, just as luminous, choose not to come back. They remain in the subtle realms at peace, released from the wheel of rebirth. Why? What secret choice stands at the threshold of existence? And how can understanding this help us live more fully, right now? Across countless spiritual traditions, from Tibetan Buddhism to ancient Hindu scriptures, from Western mystics to those who have glimpsed the other side in near-death experiences, this question is both profound and practical. It asks not just what happens after death, but why we live, suffer, and awaken at all. Tonight we're going on a journey, through teachings both ancient and modern, through real stories, and through the deepest chambers of the human heart. We'll explore the invisible crossroads every soul may face, the final choice before rebirth. Why do some souls return, again and again, into the drama of human life? Why do others, just as deserving, step into peace beyond the veil, never to return? Is it karma, unfinished business, or a higher calling? Or is there something more mysterious, something beyond our understanding, shaping this sacred decision? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see rebirth and your own life in a way you may never have before. If you've ever felt that haunting sense of déjà vu, or wondered if this isn't your first time around, what you're about to hear will resonate deeply. And if you've lost someone or faced a crossroads of your own, these insights may offer comfort and even healing. So settle in, take a slow breath, and prepare for a journey that might just change how you see the soul's path forever. What if the most important choice of your existence happened before you were born? If you've ever questioned the deeper meaning of your life, or felt a connection to something beyond this world, let me know in the comments below. Your story might help someone else find clarity too. What really happens in the space between one life ending and another beginning? For centuries, mystics and seekers have described this interval as the between lives state, a luminous, often dreamlike realm, where the soul pauses, reflects, and prepares for whatever comes next. It's here, in this mysterious in-between, that the deepest choices are made. Across cultures, this intermission has been called by many names: the bardo in Tibetan Buddhism, the antarabhava in ancient Hindu texts, or simply the light by those who've returned from near-death experiences. What these teachings share is the sense that consciousness does not simply flicker out. Instead, it expands, sometimes overwhelmed by awe, sometimes reviewing every moment of the life just lived. Can you imagine what it would feel like to review your entire existence, not with judgment, but with a kind of gentle curiosity? Many who have glimpsed this state describe a profound sense of peace, even if their earthly life was full of struggle. It's as if the soul steps out of the story, able to see both the beauty and the pain without flinching. But this state is not just a waiting room. Buddhist texts say that the bardo is a place of vivid clarity. Here, our attachments, fears, and unresolved desires become crystal clear. Some souls feel a pull, a longing to return and complete what was left unfinished. Others, liberated from old patterns, feel an equally powerful pull toward freedom. What is it that determines which way a soul turns? Is it karma, the spiritual, law of cause and effect, that keeps us cycling through new lives? Or is there an even deeper freedom at work, something that allows for choice even beyond karma's grip? Modern researchers, like Dr. Michael Newton, have compiled thousands of reports from people who describe detailed between-life experiences under hypnosis. Strikingly, many recount a sense of meeting guides, reviewing their life's lessons, and sometimes being offered a choice. Are you ready to return, or will you remain here a little longer? If you were given that choice, what would you do? Would you feel the tug of loved ones left behind, or a mission unfulfilled? Or would you let go, content that your journey was complete? These questions are not just abstract, they shape how we approach our own lives. The way we live now, the intentions we set, even the unfinished stories we carry, may echo far beyond this lifetime. The between lives state is not a punishment or a reward. Instead, it's portrayed as a compassionate, even loving pause, an opportunity to see ourselves clearly and to choose our next step with eyes wide open. Could it be that our greatest spiritual teacher is not a sage or a book, but the silent awareness waiting for us in this mysterious interval? The between lives state is a time of reflection and possibility, a gentle space where the soul can choose what comes next, free from the noise of everyday life. If this idea sparks curiosity or reminds you of something you felt in dreams or meditation, give this video a like. It helps others find this message. Imagine standing on the edge of existence, gazing back at the life you just lived. For some souls, there is an undeniable pull, a subtle gravity, drawing them back to earth, to another round of laughter and tears, triumph and heartbreak. But what is it that calls these souls to return again and again? Spiritual traditions across the world offer rich answers. In the Buddhist view, it is often unfinished karma, actions and intentions from previous lives, that gently nudges a soul back into the cycle of birth and death. Every relationship not fully healed, every lesson not yet learned becomes a thread, pulling us once more into the tapestry of human experience. But karma is not simply a cosmic scorecard. It is at its heart the law of love and learning. Some souls return because there is still something their heart yearns to understand, a lesson in compassion, forgiveness, or courage that remains incomplete. Sometimes it's as simple and profound as wanting to help those we left behind. Psychological research into near-death experiences echoes this idea. Many people who've tasted the edge of life report meeting deceased loved ones or guides and feeling a deep sense of mission not finished. There's a longing not for material things, but for growth, for redemption, or to fulfill a soul contract made long before birth. Have you ever sensed you had a purpose, a reason for being here, even if you couldn't name it? That tug might be an echo of a choice made long before you arrived, a promise to yourself or to another soul to return and try again. There's also the simple magnetic pull of love. The Dalai Lama has said that compassion is what binds us all, lifetime after lifetime. Sometimes the soul is drawn back simply because of love, unfinished stories, connections that transcend even death, or the wish to guide someone still on their journey. Real-life stories offer glimpses of this mysterious pull. Children who remember past lives often speak of a strong desire to reunite with people or places from before. It's as if the soul recognizes familiar faces and feels compelled to return, not out of obligation, but from a place of deep connection. But it's not only the pull of others that brings us back. Sometimes it's our own longing for growth or even curiosity, an eagerness to experience the wonder and struggle of life in a new body with a new set of possibilities. Is it possible that your life right now is the answer to a choice you once made, to come back, to learn, to love again? If so, every moment, every challenge carries a hidden blessing, the chance to fulfill a deeper promise or to finally release a pattern that no longer serves you. Some souls return because the heart still seeks healing, connection, or growth. The pull to return is not punishment, but a calling, a chance to become more whole. If this resonates with your own sense of purpose, let me know in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else on their journey. Not every soul is drawn back to the world of form. Some reach a profound moment of release, a letting go so complete, so gentle, that there is no more need to return. These are the souls who, according to many traditions, choose to step beyond the cycle of rebirth. But what makes their journey different? In Buddhist teachings, this is often called moksha or nirvana, a liberation from the endless wheel of birth, suffering, and death. It's not an escape, but a quiet fulfillment. Imagine living so fully, loving so completely, that nothing is left unfinished. The soul feels light, untethered, ready to rest in the deep peace that has always been its true home. Stories from those who have had near-death experiences sometimes describe this feeling as being bathed in light or welcomed into a vast sense of unity. There is no more longing, no more sense of lack, just a boundless peace, and a knowing that everything truly is complete. Why do some souls reach this state? For some, it is the slow accumulation of wisdom through many lifetimes, each experience polishing the heart until all that remains is love. For others, it comes suddenly, through a life of extraordinary compassion, or a moment of deep spiritual awakening. But it's important to remember, the choice not to return is rarely made from exhaustion or avoidance. It's not a running away, but a moving beyond. The soul does not reject life, but embraces the fullness of what has been lived, with nothing left undone or unsaid. Many traditions speak of old souls who, having served, loved, and learned, now rest in a state of pure presence. In Hindu philosophy, these souls may merge with the divine, becoming one with the vastness from which all things arise. In Christianity, it's described as returning home to God, having completed the earthly pilgrimage. Sometimes a soul chooses not to return out of compassion, not for themselves but for others. They may become guides, protectors, or sources of inspiration from beyond, gently whispering wisdom to those still walking the path. Have you ever felt the presence of a loved one, long gone, guiding you in a difficult moment? Some say these are the souls who remain not in body but in love. This idea challenges the fear of death that so often haunts us. It suggests that completion, not oblivion, waits on the other side. Life is not a trap, but a journey with a natural and beautiful conclusion. The souls who choose not to return have reached a place of profound fulfillment. Their journey shows us that true peace comes not from escaping life, but from completing it with awareness and love. If this idea brings you a sense of comfort or hope, consider sharing this video. Someone in need of peace may find their answer here. When we talk about the soul's journey, one question echoes through every tradition and every heart. Do we really choose our path, or are we simply carried along by the currents of fate and karma? If some souls return and others do not, how much of that is true choice? And how much is the natural unfolding of a story far bigger than ourselves? Buddhist philosophy often describes life as a river, with karma as the current. Yet within this river, every being, no matter how small, can alter its course. Imagine a leaf floating downstream. Sometimes the river carries it swiftly, other times a gentle breeze or a sudden turn lets it rest on the shore. In the same way, our actions, intentions, and even our moments of clarity can shape what happens next. Modern spiritual teachers often remind us that the soul is not just a passive passenger. Even in the between lives state, there's an invitation to awaken, to see clearly, and to choose. Ancient Hindu texts describe the Antarabhava as a time when the soul glimpses the consequences of its actions, but also experiences the vastness of its own freedom. The deeper the awareness, the greater the ability to choose with wisdom. But free will is a mystery, isn't it? Many people wrestle with the sense that life is full of patterns, habits, emotions, even repeated relationship, struggles that seem to follow us across time. Are we truly choosing, or are we just playing out scripts written by past experiences and unconscious desires? Here, spiritual insight offers both challenge and comfort. The Buddha taught that true freedom comes from seeing through these patterns, not running from them, but understanding their roots. When the soul witnesses its own history with compassion, old bonds loosen. In that moment of clarity, a genuine choice becomes possible, perhaps for the very first time. Some near-death experiences describe this as a moment of review. In the space between lives, they say, the soul is shown not just what happened, but why, and how it touched others. In that luminous pause, some feel ready to return, eager to try again. Others, having seen the full picture, find peace in letting go. Psychologically, this idea mirrors what happens in deep reflection or therapy. When we bring awareness to our choices, we create new possibilities. The soul, too, awakens to a higher freedom when it recognizes its patterns with love rather than judgment. Could it be that every moment of awakening, every insight, every realization of truth creates more room for the soul to choose, both in this life and beyond? If so, perhaps the final choice before rebirth is not a single moment, but the culmination of 1,000 small awakenings. Free will is real, but it unfolds as our awareness deepens. The more clearly we see ourselves, the more truly we can choose our next steps, here and in the mystery beyond. If you've ever felt caught in a life pattern or broken free from one, share your story below. Your insight may light the way for someone else. Karma is a word we hear often, but its true meaning is richer and more mysterious than many realize. At its simplest, karma is the law of cause and effect, the understanding that every thought, word and deed leaves a subtle imprint on the soul. But karma is not about punishment or reward. It's the architecture of learning, a gentle guide that leads each soul back into the world again and again, until the deepest lessons are lived and understood. In Buddhist and Hindu teachings, karma is woven with compassion. Even when a soul returns to face hardship or sorrow, it is not out of cruelty but out of love. The universe's way of offering every soul a new chance to awaken, to heal, to find forgiveness for themselves and others. Life becomes the school, and karma the teacher, but the lessons are always shaped by compassion, never vengeance. Imagine a painter returning to the canvas, each lifetime adding a new brushstroke. Some colors are bold and beautiful, others are dark and difficult. Karma doesn't judge which is better. It only ensures that nothing is wasted, and every color has its place. This is the law of return, not as a sentence, but as an opportunity for wholeness. Many stories of past life reveal this wisdom. People who remember former lives often describe an underlying thread, a lesson unfinished, a relationship unresolved, a kindness left unoffered. The soul returns, not to repeat the past, but to transform it. Even the hardest experiences carry a hidden grace, the possibility of awakening compassion for ourselves and for all beings. Modern psychology offers a parallel in the concept of generational patterns. Families often repeat certain stories, cycles of struggle or love, until someone awakens to the pattern and chooses differently. In the same way, the soul's journey through lifetimes is about breaking free from the old scripts and discovering the freedom to respond with wisdom and love. But karma is not the whole story. Buddhist masters often say that the law of karma is vast, but even vaster is the law of compassion. The heart has the power to forgive, to release old debts, to offer mercy to ourselves and others. It is compassion that ultimately dissolves karma, opening the way to a different future, or even the freedom not to return at all. What if, in the end, our greatest task is not to balance the scales, but to open the heart? What if compassion is the key that unlocks the door to freedom, both in this life and beyond? Karma shapes our journey, but compassion transforms it. Every act of forgiveness, kindness, or understanding softens the bonds of karma and brings the soul closer to true freedom. If you feel the weight or grace of karma in your own life, leave a comment. Sometimes just naming a pattern is the first step to healing it. Have you ever met someone for the first time and felt as if you'd known them forever? Or perhaps you found yourself in relationships, whether joyful or challenging, that seem to carry a strange sense of inevitability, like two actors drawn together in a play they've performed before. According to many spiritual traditions, these moments are not accidents. They are echoes of deeper soul agreements formed long before birth. The idea of soul groups, sometimes called soul families, suggests that we travel through lifetimes not as isolated beings, but as part of a spiritual community. These souls may return together, lifetime after lifetime, to help one another grow, heal, and awaken. Sometimes we play the role of parent or child, friend or adversary, teacher or student. The roles change, but the underlying connection remains. In Buddhist and Hindu teachings, this idea is woven into the fabric of karma and rebirth. Our most important relationships are seen as spiritual contracts, opportunities for growth that were chosen, not by accident, but by agreement. These agreements are not always easy. They may involve challenge, heartbreak, or loss, but at their heart is a promise to help each other remember who we really are. Stories of past life regression often reveal remarkable patterns. People describe meeting the same souls in different bodies, across different centuries, sometimes swapping roles to understand life from every angle. A mother in one life may become a child in another. An adversary might return as a friend, or vice versa. Through it all, the soul learns the lessons of empathy, compassion, and forgiveness. Some traditions say that before each incarnation, souls gather and discuss what they hope to experience and learn. They choose the timing, the relationships, even some of the challenges they will face. These agreements are not rigid scripts but flexible blueprints. Free will remains, but the connections are deep, often unbreakable. Have you noticed patterns in your own life? Recurring relationships or themes that seem to invite you to grow in a certain way? Perhaps you're learning patience, courage, or forgiveness. Perhaps someone in your life challenges you more than anyone else, and yet you can't help but feel there's a deeper reason you're together. Psychologically, these soul agreements mirror the idea that our closest relationships are our greatest teachers. Whether through joy or suffering, they call forth the very qualities our soul came to cultivate. And when the lessons are learned, the bonds can shift, allowing both souls to move on, perhaps to meet again in another life, in another form. If soul groups are real, then no one is ever truly alone. Even in moments of isolation or loss, there are invisible threads connecting us to others, woven through time and memory. The soul's journey, it seems, is never solitary. The people in our lives may be companions from many lifetimes, each relationship offering a chance to heal, grow, and remember the deeper reasons for our journey together. If you've ever felt an unexplainable bond with someone, or recognized a pattern across your relationships, share your experience below. Your story might help someone else make sense of their own soul agreements. For many, the thought of returning to this world, of facing the same struggles, losses, or even the mundane routines of daily life, stirs a quiet fear. Why would any soul willingly come back to a place of pain and uncertainty? Beneath this question lies a deeper wisdom, hidden within our most human anxieties about existence and the unknown. This fear is not unique to modern times. Ancient scriptures, from the Buddhist sutras to the writings of early Christian mystics, describe the soul's reluctance to return to the physical realm. The Buddha himself taught that the human experience, though precious, is marked by suffering, old age, sickness, loss, and death. It's natural, even wise, to feel a resistance to repeating these cycles. But what if this fear is actually a compass, a signpost pointing us toward what needs healing or understanding? Psychologists often speak of shadow work, the process of facing what we avoid or suppress. In the soul's journey, the fear of returning can be seen as the soul's way of inviting us to look more deeply at what still needs our compassion. For some, the dread of returning is tied to memories, conscious or unconscious, of trauma, loneliness, or disappointment. These feelings can seem overwhelming, but spiritual wisdom teaches that the very act of facing them, gently and honestly, is itself an act of liberation. Every fear met with awareness loosens its grip, transforming from an obstacle into a doorway. Real-life accounts of near-death experiences often highlight this paradox. Some people report being offered a choice: return to life or remain in the peace of the other side. Many choose to come back not out of duty, but because they see something precious in the struggle itself. They realize that even suffering can be a powerful teacher, revealing strength, empathy, and a deeper connection to others. Buddhist teachers remind us that the human world, with all its messiness, is uniquely valuable. Only here, in the arena of life, can the soul practice compassion in action, forgiveness in real relationships, and presence amid distraction. The fear of returning is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the soul's longing to grow beyond comfort and find real freedom. If you have ever felt this fear, a longing for escape, or a sense that you are tired of the struggle, know that you are not alone. This feeling is shared by countless seekers through the ages. The invitation is not to run from it, but to listen to it, to ask what lesson or healing it might be offering. Could it be that, by gently holding our fears, we discover the wisdom and courage needed to make new choices, whether in this life or the next? The fear of returning is a doorway to deeper understanding. When we meet our fears with kindness and curiosity, They reveal the wisdom and courage hidden inside our hearts. If this speaks to your own experience, or if you faced fears about life's challenges, let us know in the comments. Sometimes, simply sharing our fears can bring them into the light and begin to heal them. Throughout history, countless people have reported glimpses beyond the veil, moments when the boundaries between life, death, and what comes after seem to dissolve. These experiences, whether through near-death, deep meditation, or childhood memories, offer rare insights into the soul's journey between lives. But what do they reveal about the choice to return or not? Near-death experiences, NDEs, are perhaps the most widely shared window into the afterlife. Many who have crossed that threshold and come back describe astonishingly similar scenes: a tunnel of light, feelings of overwhelming peace, encounters with departed loved ones or wise guides. Some speak of a life review where every action, word, and even thought is re-experienced, not with judgment, but with profound understanding and compassion. In these moments, many souls report being offered a choice. They sense a loving presence asking, "Do you wish to return?" Some choose to stay in the light, but are gently encouraged to go back, told that their mission is not complete or that someone still needs them. Others return of their own will, often transformed by the experience. They wake up with a renewed sense of purpose, greater empathy, and a deep knowing that life itself is a precious opportunity. Children's memories of past lives provide another intriguing lens. Dr. Ian Stevenson and other researchers have documented thousands of cases worldwide, where young children recall details of previous lives with striking accuracy, names, places, even unresolved events. Many of these children express a longing or curiosity that seems to transcend ordinary childhood experience, as if their soul remembers making a conscious choice to return. In meditation and spiritual practice, some seekers report flashes of memory, glimpses of other lifetimes, or vivid sensations of floating in a peaceful, timeless space between incarnations. These moments often come with a feeling of gentle guidance, a sense that their current life was chosen with care, in collaboration with wise beings who help them see the bigger picture. The most powerful theme in all these stories is love. Not the sentimental kind, but a fierce, unwavering compassion. Souls often return because of unfinished love, a desire to help, or the realization that there is still something beautiful left to experience or give. At the same time, when the journey is complete, a different kind of love, peaceful and spacious, welcomes the soul home. Scientific skepticism is natural, and not every account can be explained or verified. But the similarities across cultures, ages, and backgrounds are striking. These glimpses suggest that the choice before rebirth is deeply personal and deeply loving, never forced, but always guided by the soul's longing for wholeness. Could these stories be invitations for us to remember our own deeper reasons for being here? What if, hidden within each life, there are clues left by our own soul, gently guiding us to fulfill what we came to do? Glimpses from NDEs, past life memories, and meditation all point to a loving, conscious process behind rebirth. The choice, to return or not, is made with awareness and care, guided by love rather than fear. If you've had an experience you can't explain, a moment of déjà vu, a childhood memory, or a sense of being guided, share it below. Your story may offer comfort and insight to others on this mysterious path. At the heart of Buddhist philosophy lies the profound teaching of samsara, the endless wheel of birth, death, and rebirth that all beings inhabit. Samsara is not just a cycle of physical existence. It is the ongoing play of desires, fears, and illusions that keep the soul returning to the world, lifetime after lifetime. Yet the Buddha's wisdom offers hope. Freedom from this cycle is not only possible, but it is the natural destiny of every soul. Buddhism teaches that the wheel of samsara is driven by three core energies: ignorance, craving, and aversion. As long as we remain caught in confusion or chase after pleasures while running from pain, the cycle continues. But this is not a message of despair. Rather, it is an invitation to awaken. The teachings remind us that liberation is not found by denying life, but by seeing it clearly and living with deep awareness. The Buddha's own story is the ultimate example. After many lifetimes of seeking, serving, and suffering, he awakened beneath the Bodhi tree. He saw through the illusions that bind us and realized the interconnectedness of all things. In that moment, the cycle of return was broken, not by force, but by the gentle light of understanding and compassion. For those who practice Buddhism, meditation is a path to this awakening. Each breath, each moment of mindful awareness helps loosen the knots of karma and confusion. Gradually, the soul learns to meet pleasure and pain with equanimity, to let go of clinging and aversion, and to rest in the peace of what is. This teaching is not exclusive to monks or saints. Every person, no matter their background or beliefs, can take steps toward freedom. Small moments of mindfulness, acts of kindness, and the willingness to see oneself honestly are all seeds of awakening. The Buddha taught that the journey out of samsara is walked step by gentle step, each moment bringing us closer to home. And yet, even as some souls transcend the wheel, others choose to return as bodhisattvas, beings who have reached the threshold of liberation, but choose to help others awaken before crossing over themselves. Their presence is a living reminder that the highest wisdom is always woven with compassion. Could it be that your own longing for meaning, peace, or awakening is a sign that you are nearing a turning point in your own soul's journey? Buddhist. Wisdom teaches that the cycle of return can be transcended, not through escape, but through awakening. The journey is one of clarity, compassion, and gentle transformation. If these teachings inspire you, or if you practice mindfulness or meditation in your own life, share how it's changed you. Your path could illuminate the way for someone else still searching. So what truly happens at the threshold between lives? In the quiet space beyond death, where all stories fall silent, the soul is said to hear a whisper, a final question that rings not in words but in the language of the heart. It is here at the threshold that the most mysterious choice of all unfolds. Will you return or will you rest? Ancient texts and modern stories agree on one thing: the final choice is not made with fear or pressure. It is a choice shaped by everything the soul has experienced: love and loss, joy and sorrow, wisdom gathered through lifetimes. It is an invitation, not a command. In that sacred pause, the soul is met with a profound clarity. Sometimes guides or luminous beings appear, not to persuade but to offer loving support as the soul remembers its deepest intentions. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast sunlit field. Behind you lies the journey you have completed, with all its beauty and pain. Ahead, the possibilities shimmer. You feel the pull of unfinished dreams, loved ones waiting, or lessons yet to learn. You also feel the peace of letting go, the promise of freedom, and the embrace of something greater than the self. In that moment, the soul remembers why it came in the first place. For some, the memory of a promise made to return and help, to love or to heal, calls them back with gentle urgency. For others, a sense of completion settles over everything, like the final note in a beautiful song. There is no guilt, no regret, only gratitude and acceptance. The choice is free and it is wise. Spiritual teachings suggest that the final choice is not so much a decision as it is a recognition of readiness. The soul feels whether there is still something calling, or if peace is at last possible. Sometimes this awareness comes in a flash. Other times, it is the result of many lifetimes of slow awakening. What's remarkable is that this sacred moment is not reserved for saints or sages. Every soul, no matter how ordinary or wounded, is offered the same freedom, the same dignity, to choose their path, and no choice is ever final forever. What matters is the honesty of the heart in that moment. Could it be that every longing, every dream, and every fear in your life is quietly preparing you for this choice? That every act of love, every lesson learned is already shaping the whisper you'll hear at the threshold? The final choice before rebirth is a moment of sacred clarity, guided by love, honesty, and the soul's deepest truth. It is the gentle culmination of everything your journey has taught you. If this idea touches you, or if you sense your own soul standing at a crossroads, leave a comment. Sometimes sharing your truth can be a light for someone else on their journey. All these teachings, stories, and mysteries lead us back to a very human question. What can we do, here and now, to honor the soul's journey, whether we believe in rebirth or not? How can we bring the wisdom of these ancient ideas into daily life to find more peace, purpose, and freedom? Here are some practical reflections and tools you can use right away. Think of these as gentle invitations, ways to listen more deeply to your own soul, to heal old patterns, and to live with greater awareness of the choices you're making. Moment by moment. Life review meditation. Set aside 10 quiet minutes. Close your eyes and imagine watching your life as if it's a movie, without judgment. Notice the moments that still tug at your heart, either with joy or regret. Ask yourself, what feels unfinished? What act of love or forgiveness is still waiting? This gentle review helps you recognize patterns and open space for healing right now. Oi. Embracing soul agreements. Reflect on your closest relationships, especially the challenging ones. Imagine just for a moment that you chose to journey with these souls for a reason. What lessons have they brought you? How have you grown? Even the most difficult bonds may be sacred invitations to learn patience, courage, or compassion. Approach them with curiosity, not blame. Befriend the fear of returning. If you ever feel anxious about the future or about repeating past mistakes, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Ask your heart, what is this fear really trying to teach me? Often our fears are gentle messengers, pointing us toward a deeper need for healing or understanding. Write down whatever comes and offer yourself the kindness you would give a dear friend. The Karma Reset, compassion in action. Each day, choose one small act of kindness, even if it's just a silent blessing for someone you meet. Karma isn't just about grand gestures. It's shaped by the simple, loving choices we make again and again. If you're carrying guilt or regret, try an act of self-forgiveness. Whisper to yourself, may I be free from suffering. May I find peace. 5. Practice present moment awareness. Whenever you find yourself lost in worry about the past or future, gently bring your attention back to your breath, to the feeling of your feet on the ground, or to a simple sound around. Each mindful moment is a step off the wheel of automatic patterns and a step toward freedom. Ask your soul before sleep, before going to bed. Close your eyes and pose a gentle question to your deeper self. What is my soul ready to release or embrace? Sometimes answers come in dreams or as quiet insights over time. Trust that your soul already knows the way. It just needs a listening ear. Gratitude as a spiritual practice. Make it a habit to name 3 things you're grateful for, especially on difficult days. Gratitude helps the soul remember the beauty of life even in struggle. It can soften karma, brighten relationships, and gently shift your perspective toward peace. Connect with your why. Write down your core intentions for this life. Not goals, but deeper reasons for being here. Is it to love, to heal, to create? Revisit these words when you feel lost, as a compass for your soul's journey. Offer a blessing for the journey. Ahead in moments of uncertainty or transition, pause and offer yourself a blessing. You might say, may I be guided by wisdom and love. May I remember my true nature. This simple act brings comfort and reminds you that every choice, even the smallest, shapes your path. Remember, you are not alone. Whenever you feel isolated or overwhelmed, recall the idea of soul groups and invisible companions. Imagine those who love you, seen and unseen, standing with you. Sometimes just sensing this connection can bring the courage to move forward. Each of these reflections is a small gift you can offer yourself, no matter where you are on your journey. The true wisdom of the soul's path is not only in what happens after we die, but in how we choose to live, love, and awaken right now. If any of these tools speak to you, or if you try one and notice a shift, share your experience below. Your story could be just what someone else needs to hear. As we reach the end of this journey together, pause for a moment and feel the gentle mystery at the heart of your own life. We have traveled through teachings both ancient and modern, exploring karma, compassion, the bonds between souls, the fear of returning, and the peace that awaits beyond the wheel of rebirth. You've seen that every soul's journey is unique, guided not only by fate or karma, but by an ever-deepening awareness. Whether you believe in many lifetimes or just this one, the wisdom remains the same. Each moment holds the seed of a choice. Every breath, every act of love or forgiveness, every insight that dawns upon you. These are the subtle decisions that shape not only your future, but the future of your soul. Remember, the final choice before rebirth is not something reserved for saints or spiritual masters. It is a possibility alive in each of us right now. We don't have to wait for the next life to make choices with more awareness, compassion, and courage. The freedom to choose, to awaken, to love more deeply. This freedom is already here. Buddhist teachings remind us that life's greatest liberation is found not in escaping the world, but in understanding it, seeing through its illusions, meeting its joys and pains with a wise and gentle heart. And when the soul is finally ready, whether it chooses to return or to rest, it does so with clarity and love, knowing that all journeys are honored, all paths are sacred. So as you move forward from this video, ask yourself, what is the whisper of your own soul right now? What choice is calling you in this moment? However small, you don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom comes from living the question, from staying curious and kind with yourself and others. Perhaps that is the real gift of these teachings, not just insight into what comes after, but inspiration for how to live more fully, bravely, and compassionately now. If this journey has moved you, or if you feel a sense of possibility or peace, let your heart be your guide. And remember, your story, your questions, and your presence here are all part of the great tapestry of souls, each one awakening step by gentle step. If this video has brought you comfort or sparked new questions, please like the video. It helps this wisdom reach others who are searching, just like you. Subscribe for more deep dives into spiritual mysteries, mindful living, and the secrets of the soul. And if you want to go deeper, watch our next video on how to recognize signs from past lives, messages your soul wants you to remember. So, what do you feel your soul is choosing right now? Share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective and your questions. Together, let's keep this journey alive.